Cats are unbelievable creatures that are always full of surprises. Not only did Musa surprise her owner, for one thing, but an entire team of vets. When her babies were found to be nursing children, she shocked all of them. The animal was a beloved feline at the Sadgorod Zoo. She was a year old and she was a strange cat all the time. However, she was suddenly pregnant. Before giving birth, everyone in the area wanted to make sure that she was safe. She was never alone. Even though she waddled around the zoo, when they realized that Musa was missing, the staff could not help but feel anxious. Geese, chickens, raccoons were all found in the zoo. Apart from those, there were lions, monkeys, bears, tigers, and others as well. The bigger animals could put the cat at risk. This was the reason why the search for the missing feline was launched. The bottom line was that in the zoo, Musa differed from the other animals. By mistake, she became their resident. While on the job, a zookeeper called Alice found her. On a cold day in the winter, she saw a black thing moving in the snow. It was obvious that it wasn't just a pile of dirt here. The small black kitty was almost frozen. Her nose had icicles and she barely moved. Alice took her to the vets at the zoo.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Alice placed the cat in her jacket and looked for the vets immediately. To keep the kitty alive, the professionals did everything in their power. Nothing else was there to do but wait and see. They were amazed but pleased that the cat had made it through the night. She began to gain strength as the days went by. They took her to the staff room and made sure she had all the love and care that she needed to give her. The whole petting zoo staff loved Musa. They were happy to see her get strong and run the whole day around the room. Still, the zoo was not the best place for her, they realized. Cats are eager to explore their environment, and she had to look out the window. On the opposite side, she saw wild animals. She took it as her chance to sneak out when the zookeepers accidentally left the door open. On short walks, Alice would take Musa, but the cat was always kept on a leash. She was afraid the feline was going to fall into one of the enclosures. They managed to keep doing this for almost a year. However, when she got out of the room on her own, everybody fell into a panic. For 2 days, they searched for Musa. Alice checked out different enclosures, hoping all the time that the cat would not meet her doom. All the people at the zoo were hoping the cat was okay. They knew just how dangerous for a cat the situation could be. The others warned Alice that Musa might never return. She held on to the hope despite this. She soon found out that having faith is sometimes good. After 2 days, Musa went home. She alerted the staff of her presence by pawing at the door. Alice let out a cry of relief after seeing that the cat was safe and sound. She started to wonder if it was time to look for a home for the cat. It was too hard to say goodbye, however, so Musa ended up staying there. They began to notice a change in Musa a couple of weeks after her return. They found it odd that she was so cranky and lethargic. She was always playful and sweet before she left the room. Suddenly, when the door was open, the cat did not want to head outside of the room. What has been going on? It felt like a completely different cat had returned. She would simply lie down on the floor as she walked out of the room. They knew something was changing. Right away, Alice noticed the difference in her behavior, but she had no idea what was happening. It felt like Musa was broken. In the outside world, she had suddenly lost any interest. Everyone was at a loss at the time. The true reason caught them by surprise. One day, Alice came back for a cup of tea in the staff room. She wanted, as usual, to cuddle with Musa. To her surprise, she was unable to find Musa anywhere inside. She once again had gone missing. This time, it was even worse since the weather was bad. She heard not only rain, but also thunder. The whole staff already knew by then that they had to look for Musa as soon as possible. They had to bring her back. They took their flashlights and set out in search of them. Every single place imaginable, the zookeepers went through and kept an ear out for meows. She had to be there somewhere. There were cars and parking spaces outside the zoo's premise as well. It did not sound likely that anywhere else Musa could have gone. Alice thought she had definitely been to the zoo. She heard something all of a sudden. Past the lion cage was a wooden area. It seemed that the cry had come from the bush there. Alice pointed at the spot with her flashlight. She saw the cat over there, to her relief. Musa was sitting peacefully in the bush. The most shocking part was the fact that she was not alone. There was something on her chest that was crawling. She was shocked by what she saw after taking a closer look. There she found 4 kittens with her. It turns out, however, the biggest surprise was still to come. Simply put, the sight of the kittens shocked them all. What made them gasp, however, was that something else was crawling around her chest. What they saw was baby hedgehogs there. They were unable to keep their surprise at bay. There was no way they could simply leave them all in that place. One of them came back to the building and grabbed a blanket and a box. This way, they could get all the animals out of harm's way. One by one, Alice picked the creatures up and put them in a container. The plan was for all of them to be taken to the vet. As you can imagine, at that time, they had a lot of questions. She took Musa to the vet as well as all the babies. The vet frowned a little bit, taking a look at them, and then let out a burst of laughter. He said, "I've never seen anything like this." Then he began to take a look at the animals. He left the room to discuss it with Alice after separating the kittens from the hedgehogs. But she undid the hard work as soon as Musa was alone with the babies. She took the kittens out of one box and then moved all of them to the one with the hedgehogs. The mama cat rested with all of them, letting the babies drink her milk and stay close to the heat. Alice returned to this lovely moment. It was clear that Musa wanted the 8 hedgehog babies to be hers. She did not think it was a good idea, even though Alice was amazed. The kittens could, after all, get hurt by their siblings' pricks from another species. Again, she split them up, but the hedgehogs refused her attempt to feed them in the bottle. While Alice knew that keeping the animals together was not a good idea, Musa wanted to take care of all the babies. Alice finally learned, not long after this, where the hedgehogs came from. Maybe their mom got into an accident inside the zoo. She did recall a particular lawnmower incident. The hedgehogs must have been on their own for a few days until Musa saw them, before the cat took them in as her own children, and the babies were probably starving. Before or after giving birth to the kittens, no one knew if she did this. What was the next thing for this strange little family? Can you believe that the hedgehogs never stung Musa? In the end, she raised them as her own. Whenever she could, Alice was always there to lend a hand. The entire staff installed an enclosure for the family outside the staff room. When the story was posted online, in no time at all, it went viral. The people who saw them were stunned by all the adorable photos of the strange family. Cat lovers were blown away by Musa's maternal instinct. Everyone agreed that the gentle mom was the cat. Isn't it a nice thing to see what she can do? Musa showed the same kindness doing this that Alice did a year earlier. The baby hedgehogs, in case you were wondering, are now adults. Musa keeps keeping an eye on them every single day. To ensure they're fine, she would go to their enclosure. What a story, am I right? Honestly, we have no clue what we would do if our cat adopted a full litter of hedgehogs. This story is not, as it turns out, the only one of its kind. As of late, another cat named Rosinka in Russia has made new headlines. She adopted a baby squirrel monkey named Foyodor after its own mother abandoned it. The little creature was taken home by a zookeeper. Luckily, Rosinka almost immediately started comforting the baby. Maybe helping other baby animals out when they're in need is the norm for cats in Russia. We all know what kind of reputation cats tend to have, but we believe that they can be misunderstood terribly. Typically, they are less popular than dog-like pets, and it's really a shame. Most dog people seem to be certain that they are this way due to cats' malicious behavior. For centuries now, however, cat owners worldwide have been raving about having cats, and for good reason. It is said that owning a cat will help lower the risk of heart disease and even improve the owner's sleep. Cats tend to have calm personalities that contribute to less stress and anxiety for their owners. A cat's purr, in fact, is a continuous vibration that tends to boost relaxation. It is known that owning a cat decreases allergies during childhood years, too. Finally, while lounging on the couch and watching TV, owners have always spoken highly of having the company of a cat.
If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.